back to work myself, and got up in the middle of the night, in effect, it was still dark probably. I was raised for a while in my grandpa's house where somebody had to go down and go to the coal bin and get the coal furnace moving. And if anybody forgot, it would be just freezing cold in the house. You kind of picture this guy working outside in a steel yard. I mean, you can picture any number of hard labor jobs, particularly in Detroit. It's a cold place. But what you would do is you go down in the morning because the fire would have gone down overnight. In other words, it wasn't like you woke up in the morning and the greatest amount of heat was coming out of the registers. The greatest amount of the heat, what happened is just like a fire in a fireplace. It would go down. You'd have to, bank the fire. That's how it worked. This was kind of my job. My job is to keep the house warm, keep the family warm, and it's kind of like today, turn up the thermostat. Today, the father and mother, whoever runs the household, gets particularly cold, and walk over and click the thermostat. I'd wake and hear the coal splintering, breaking, meaning that heat's starting to come up. I pictured the heat starting to come up through the register, and that frost on the window is starting to dissipate a little bit, and you can stick your foot outside the blanket, and and the image I have is that because of what Dad did early that morning, he's shattering that coal. It's breaking up. It's becoming. It's an incredibly beautiful poetic way of saying the heat is beginning to rise.
2026.
Now, did you notice how, in the poem, which, I don't know if have you got the poem pulled up? How the different way they describe stuff, like the blue, black, cold, what do you think that means?
It's dark outside.
Dark outside, like when you first wake up and stuff. And now, I have a question. Another thing about it is, the Sundays, too, my father got up early. What do you feel that means? Church, but do you think that means the father got up every morning?
No.
Early?
He woke up to shut with the fire.
Mm-hmm. And let's go by each. Let's describe what is happening in the poem. Have an open discussion. Now, the poem has 14 lines, but it's not like a normal sonnet or anything. But let's go by each line and kind of pick it apart, how you feel about the poem. So we discovered on Sundays the father gets up early also. Now I have a question. Then the cracked hands that ache. What do you think he's describing there? But do you think he's describing something about his father? His hands? Right. Have you ever seen cracked hands? Mm-hmm. Those hurt, don't they? But what it is you have to describe things, but that way people can picture it in poems. So he's describing a hard-working man, isn't he? Is that how you feel? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. But the next line, from labor in the weekday weather made. So he got it from working hard, correct? Yeah. Okay, now let's look over here. Briefly describe what is happening in this poem. Do you want to work with a partner besides Jens?
Yeah.
And go ahead and fill in what you think. Right here, briefly describe what is happening in the poem.
I don't have nobody.
You don't?
You can come right here.
You can work by yourself if you want to, but
Can I walk to the visitor? And then, are you gonna work with me?
And just take about 5 minutes to briefly discuss it, okay? Are you just gonna go over and work with her?
You wanna work with me? Come on. I'm not trying to get my lazy butt up. I'm just the laziest person ever.
Oh my goodness. We've probably got about 2 more minutes, about 5 minutes, and then I would like for us to each share what you have come up with.
I know what number 2 is.
Can I have a little bit more minutes? Because I just So what do you
We'll be very comfortable. The first thing okay, but Sunday, my father got up early. He put his clothes on and we left home. Heard his dad. He's talking about his dad. And then he couldn't see his dad. So briefly describe, and then the next thing, and then we'll find out what's going on. That's it. The second stanza. I wait in the cold spring breeze, when the winds blow, and slowly I will rise and dress.
It's not much.
What do you think is happening? Is he helping himself? So what is he doing in this, in that part of the poem?
It's just
But I know the last two lines, he was talking about in that last line.
you have to take body apart, you have to take color apart, and it's just squirting and feeling like a part. So we're gonna have to take it apart and clean it. It's probably not broke.
And you kind of figure out and you just kind of think.
I don't know myself, but I learned. I'm fixing it.
You need some help? Huh? Think you've got something to say about the boy? That's what the father's saying, but did you go on down to the second stanza? What's the second stanza So he's making the boy get up, right? I think so. You need to add that also. That's good. Good job. Good job. And you just get go to each stanza and kind of read it and try to figure out what he's trying to describe, okay? That's good.
Did she let you?
Got something? Has everybody got finished up? Got something to share? You got something to share?
Yeah.
All right.
He gets up every Sunday.
Okay, everybody calm down.
So,
Now, what was yours now?
He gets up every Sunday morning, every the cold.
In the cold, that is true.
I knew it.
But I have a question, now the second stanza, which is the next four, the next four lines down there, 6 through 9, can someone describe those to me? 6 through 9, the line 6 through 9. Can you give me some information about it? Anyone?
oh,
Go ahead. There's a lot of stress. Can you tell me which line shows that one? 9. Everyone look at line 9. Fearing the chronic angers of that house. Did you hear what he said?
it's a lot of stress going in your family.
There's a lot of stress. Oh, wait, no. I don't work that way. That's good. So do you think the son, his feelings toward his dad, how do you think the son feels toward his dad? Do you think he's thankful? I think in this point, this is an adult looking back. What do you think? He's describing like what happened every Sunday when he was growing up.
I think so.
Yeah, and at the back down here, this is correct. Correct. Mhm. Like, what did I know? What did I know? When he was young, he wasn't thinking. He didn't think his dad did it. Mm-mm. He didn't realize the sacrifices that his father were giving to him. Making his dad, when the worms were warm, he caught. So he let him stay in bed until the worms were warm. Okay. Let's see, what is the next part? Okay. Now, everyone think of someone that you know that does helpful things that may go unnoticed. Is there someone in your life that does things that you are thankful for?
Yeah.
There are. Well, talk to your partner and discuss those things, okay? Oh, and also, what is one difficult thing that this person does to help you? All right, take about 2 minutes, and then I want you to tell me. Let's discuss it. Okay? That's right. Okay. All right, everyone quiet down. Voices off. Okay, what did you say? Parents help you, okay. All right. Do you thank your parents?
Yes.
You do? Well, good, good. Is there anything you do to help your parents?
Say his son.
Okay. All right. How about you back there? Is there anyone in your life that you're thankful for? That does difficult things for you? I bet you Miss Johnson does difficult things for you too. In your family? Anybody. It doesn't have to be in your family. A lot of things. You need to lay here.
I know that ain't that. I know you said.
Okay. I didn't want to. Okay, everyone, listen. Let's move on. Listen, what we're wanting you to pay attention to this. because me and Miss Johnson have come up with a plan for, I want yous to do something this year that yous have never done. I want to create a journal where you get to do your own creative writing. At the end of this, section, you get to write a poem.
Oh.
You get to write your own poem. So I need yous to pay attention so yous learn as much as possible about imagery and how to write one, okay? So pay attention. All right, let's move on to the second one. Okay. Yeah, hand it in.
Oh, no, Miss Christmas.
I don't know.
Sir.
Section 1, hand it in. Okay, now this second part, I want you to highlight. Okay, now be ready to explain your choices. Select 3 words in each stanza that strike you as interesting or important. Now be ready to explain why you find these interesting. Okay? Now we're thinking about imagery. Now we've already discussed some of the words that's imagery, like what was it, blue black?
Yeah.
It was describing the cold.
Cold black.
Huh?
Cold black.
Was it cold black? Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, blue black.
Yeah. Yeah. The blue black cold. But I want you to choose 3 words in each stanza and highlight them that you find in each stanza. So, and remember, a stanza is like this right here. See, there's a space. So the first stanza has 5 lines in it. The second stanza has 4 lines in it. Choose 3 words in each stanza that you find interesting and important. 3 words. Each stanza. Remember, I was talking about the stanza? Yep. You need some help, Miss Jasmine?
That's my backpack, Miss Johnson. I did all of it. Oh, right there.
Each stanza, you can do it. Which words have you chose?
3 words.
Still looking? 3 words. That shows imagery or anything that you find important about this poem. Okay? Good. Now, we talked a lot about the first stanza. Oh, that's a good one. Did you get yourself?
Yeah.
I had the hardest time saying that word right there. But it's austere, wait, austere. It takes me a second.
My chair, rabbit.
Did you find some? Have you already highlighted some? Some that you find interesting.
I made a poem.
So then we'll do each stanza.
You want to hear my poem?
Not right now, okay?
I broke my spine.
You got yours all highlighted? You not got anything highlighted? You found interesting. You can do it.
Stop.
Look at the words and find out which one you find it.
Anybody else?
Okay? Be ready to tell me why.
3 words in each.
Done?
No, me, I'm like this.
Okay. Go ahead and do the next one. Okay, well, we need a.
There's nothing to say.
Okay? Yes.
I don't understand. You have 3 words for a lot of. You need 3 words for a lot of. We're about to go back. Sorry, draw. I don't have Snapchat.
Find words that are interesting. Highlight them.
Do you even know how to drive a boat? There's not pedals.
Well, I remember the time Justin said cars was Vegas when it was.
And no, you don't go back. Forward. And boats also have clutch.
Everyone should be about finished, and I'd like to talk about your words that you chose. Let's see. Okay, the first stanza. What are some words that stand out to you in this one? Go ahead.
Blue black hole.
Which we described it.
Blue, black, hole.
Now, when you see that word, what do you think about?
Cold out.
Just really cold, dark. Okay, someone else, Jasmine? Oh, no one ever thanked him? Yep, that's explaining like an emotion, isn't it? Okay, anyone else got one in this first stanza? Got one? Cracked hands. And we said it, we kind of already did this one, didn't we? So let's move on. How about the second stanza? You got one? Go ahead. Splintering. I'd wake and hear the cold splintering. Have you ever heard cold splintering?
No.
What comes to mind when you hear that word, cold splintering?
It's like
Cold is
great
cutting.
It's like the ice when you step on it.
That's right. It's like ice. So the cold is like ice. That's a good job. Now who else has another one? Chronic? Where's it at? Oh, chronic anger. So that's an imagery, right? It's what is it describing? The word chronic. What is it describing? Angers of the house. All right, let's work on the last stanza. Anyone have any from the last stanza that they'd like to share? What is it? I have a hard time saying that word too. Austere. The word is austere. And hold on just a second. I'll get you the definition of austere. Well, I think I will. It's right here. It means simple, something harsh. The word austere is harsh, severe, or simple and plain. So what is he describing with that word, austere?
Simple and plain.
But is he describing the love that he had for his father? What did I know of love's austere? So love's harshness, or love's simple and lonely offices. Okay? Indifferently. That word indifferently, now that word means without caring. So what is he without caring for? So he's talking about speaking indifferently to him. So what does he not care about? Can anyone tell me? What does the son not care about?
The stuff that his father does.
Or is he not caring how he speaks to him? Speaking indifferently to him? Speaking to him? So he doesn't care just any old way?
I don't like school.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's go to the 3. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and highlight in this poem these questions right here. What does the imagery tell you about the speaker's father or their household? We've already discussed this already, so I want you to find it in here and highlight it and then write it on here, okay? Go ahead and work on that. It shouldn't take you long because we've already discussed it.
Sorry for the interruption, but just to let y'all know there will be no